Can begin. All right, welcome everybody. July 13th, 2023. I don't have any opening remarks. Let's just kind of jump right in. Does anyone want to vote on modifying any of the agenda items? I'm fine with it as is.
Yeah.
Okay, agreed. Okay. So approval of minutes. We have 3 sets to approve today. The first one was the April 13th minutes where we had the technical difficulties. So I'd like to call to approve the April 18th or April 13th minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Were you out? Okay, you were out. Okay, so we're good. All right, the next up is June 8th. I'd like someone to propose to approve the minutes or second.
I propose that we approve the minutes.
Okay,
Second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Four. All right, next up, June 22nd. I'd like a motion to approve the June 22nd minutes.
That's when I wasn't here. for.
You were not.
You were not here.
Mostly to approve the minutes,
22nd, is it June 8th?
June 22nd.
June 22nd.
Okay, now June 8th we just did. Okay, June 22nd.
And Laura gave the so moved. We just need a second from you.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any report of members?
I was just saying that we took a walk in the Foundry Park. The brook or the stream there went so violently during the rain. We were not there during the rain, but we walked through today. The sandbags were completely washed out. It was really quite something. And then the big trees off. Apparently they cleaned it up just today, but it's normally the path right along the stream is not walkable. We had to not detour, but change it a little bit. So it the rain damage was big, but the dock side we also went. It seems to be okay. So apparently it's not the river, it's the rainwater. It
Storm,
was
yeah.
just so much. Yeah, just the tunnel was flooded, but the mural wasn't destroyed. We went through to look at it, so it seems to be okay.
Yeah.
That's my
The
report.
mayor talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the, in the
In her
meeting.
letter, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a letter she sent, but
Mhm.
in general, I think the flood problem becomes very obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
should do something, if the tunnel is that much water in there, there got to be something. I don't know
Yeah,
what
it's
to
a
do,
known,
but
it's a known issue.
yeah, but it just becomes extremely obvious compared to just the past few years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
that's my report, but
Thank you.
concerned citizen.
Thank you, concerned citizen. All right, there are no correspondences at this time. In terms of old business, we do have the issue 49 Chestnut. Back on June 8th, when we originally approved this one, we said that we were approving it, assuming that there was going to be a whereas clause in here talking about not requiring a parking table. But unfortunately, we approved it without that clause. So now we've added that back, and for posterity, I'd like us to take another vote on it. And then so that we can sign this new resolution back into the record. So I would like to propose that we approve the amended resolution so that I can re-sign it.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Can you do a roll call?
Yes.
Oh. Sue Meyer.
Aye.
Laura Shihab Eldon,
Aye.
Matt Francisco,
Aye.
and Yaslin Danvers.
Aye. All right. New business. Public hearings, on the Main Street application. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So Karen, I'm assuming the notice of the hearing was posted. We have the proof of mailing.
Yes, you have copy of proof of mailing. There's receipts. The notice of hearing was published twice
Okay.
in the PCNR. And I think that's,
Yep, and we're gonna do parking waivers, and I have that here. Would you mind, just for the record, just explaining the project one more time? And then we're gonna ask for comments from public.
The space right now, 16 is being used as an office, and I want to change it back to retail,
Okay.
which when I took over the building in 1978, it was the post office there. And after that, it was retail after that, and then it became an office. It was 1987. And then retail, and then I think it was Houlihan came in 93.
And there's not gonna be any changes to the interior walls or anything like that. It's gonna be as is, you're just doing the change of use.
Well, the interior was put in by Houlihan Lawrence, which is
Right.
just partition.
Right.
There's no structural walls there or anything else. Those partitions could very well be taken out by not by me, but by
By
a
the
tenant,
occupant.
but, you know,
Right,
but there's
No.
nothing structural at all.
okay, fantastic. And no changes to exterior signage or anything like that, is that right? Okay, wonderful. I'd like to open this up for a public hearing. I do not see anyone on the phone or any additional folks in the room. All right, I'd like a motion to close the public hearing.
do we have any
Board
board
discussion.
comment?
Oh, board
Yeah.
discussion, yeah.
The square footage, that's the four corners, you're including the partition walls, that's the maximum square footage, is that what you're? The roughly 1,400 square feet, 1,399?
Right. That was done by, the machine, the laser thing, and that was those are the interior, not the exterior. It's the interior.
And understood, but so obviously there's a loss factor with the partition walls, right? That are probably all gonna come, retail's probably gonna drop most of that. Are they, for example, taking the outside corners, the full space? Or are they doing it, room by room? My question is, could the square footage grow?
It says gross internal area
Yeah.
and the tiny writing.
Oh, okay,
I know it's not, it says total 1,399.
okay, great,
So
perfect.
I think that means that it's probably the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think also in your packet is the new
The
floor
new-
plan.
With the changes that
Yes.
were requested, I saw
Right,
that.
but
Thank you for
Retail
doing that.
office.
Yeah,
Retail.
thank you for doing that.
And I would propose that we update the parking table, because the current code took effect immediately.
Right, and it's no longer 9, it's 2.
Is it two?
I think it's 2.
Really?
Well,
Change that?
Three or
John.
four? Why would it be two? I don't. It should be.
I'll take the two.
We don't know, we're
It's
gonna
the-
clarify.
It's the 2 off-street parking spaces.
Jonathan.
Yeah,
The grandfather,
yeah. this is
grandfather is one,
And then 2 plus 2 off-street parking.
but isn't
So
it?
Jonathan,
But if you have 1,400 square feet divided by 333, right? That's 4.2.
Minus one.
So would you round that down to?
Jonathan, how did you come up with the 3?
Let me just let me get my calculator out and pull the code up. Jeff and Karen and I spoke earlier today, and Jeff had already done the calculation. 1 second here.
So the new code is per 1,000, which is roughly 1 per 333. So if you take
Mhm.
1399 divided by 333, that was 4.2. Do we have to round it up from that or
Or
down?
down. I would, my guess would be down.
I think if you pass 0.5, it's up, and if it's less than 0.5, it's down. Well, that's how I learned my
Yeah,
math.
that's like
Yeah.
the math rules, but
Yeah,
does that
it does.
apply
Does that apply
to
here?
code?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's at least, it's somewhere between 4 and 5.
So instead of 9, now we got
Yes.
half of it.
Just so I'm clear in my notes, is that without the grandfather and short?
Yeah, that's taking the whole
It's
square footage, yeah.
including, yeah,
Oh, okay,
it would be.
okay. So that would take one from that and then it would be 3.
But I want to make sure we understand how this was calculated, so if we need to correct this, I need to correct it too. I think Jonathan's still looking.
Yes, I guess there's a little bit of ambiguity in the code. It's 3 spaces per 1,000 square feet, and which, as Matt said, divides out to 301 per 333 square feet. But the code is not immediately clear as to whether you round the square footage at all. Because here, if we were to round down to 1,000 square feet, then it would be 3 spaces. I think that's probably where Jeff came up with the number.
Yeah, I think past practice, if it exceeded, you just round it up, but.
Right,
I-
okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with 3 spaces. The only thing is we just have to update the parking table and the parking waiver form.
Right, so
Yeah, so if you don't have any other comments, I'm happy to kind of move to close the public hearing, and then we can look at the resolution and approve it pending updated parking table.
Per
For
the
the
new
parking
code.
waiver per the new code, yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that the only case in which the new code affects? I mean, I think we can,
Well, I'm gonna talk about.
okay, me too.
Because I seriously think we almost need like an in-service or a training,
Yeah.
because it's
we
their
talked about
document.
That,
And,
yeah,
and if they believe this is what can and should be done, then,
yeah. That's what's in the works, so
okay.
I'll talk to you guys about that after.
Okay,
Um,
do we
Yeah,
have a
but I think it's
motion?
only fair, since this is something that we're aware of, and it's
Mhm.
very circumscribed, it's very clear.
Yeah.
That, because a lot of code typically has a cooling off period, right?
Mhm,
But they didn't, it's immediate, the
Mm,
minute so I mean, if the parking table changed,
yeah.
then
Yeah.
you should take advantage of
Pending
the
the
existing park.
updates,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where's
Alright.
the paper?
So
All
I'd
right,
like
so
to-
are we saying 4 required with 1 grandfathered for a total of 3 waivers then?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's-
okay.
I'm gonna close the public hearing first before we move to do all of those motions. So a motion to close the public hearing,
So moved.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
And that's the comment as well, the hearing and
Yes, and the board comments. Public and board comment. All right, so the other thing that we should talk about is the type 2 assessment. I would like to propose that we classify this as a type 2. I don't believe that there's any negative impacts to environment, so we
Okay, to
can
exempt,
type 2 exempt,
Yep.
exactly,
agreed.
yeah.
Agreed.
Second,
Second,
who did the first?
You
did the
agreed
first and
first.
Second,
is that it?
you
Oh, I
did.
think you said agreed.
Sorry, I said it after you, but it doesn't matter. Let's say Matt said it first and then I seconded. I second.
Great, so we're type 2. And let me just take a quick read at the resolution. Do you guys have a copy of that?
we need to take a vote on that.
Yeah, I'd like to read it first and then,
On the type two. We have
oh, I thought that's what we just did.
in a second.
Oh, I thought we were doing.
I thought we
did that.
just did that.
Yeah.
A vote. I think she's saying.
Yes, you need to.
Oh, I
have a
see, we motion to
second,
vote,
need
we
a
motion to
yes.
vote, I
Motion to
seconded,
vote.
okay. And then do we have to say all in favor to vote? Aye,
Yes.
and then we take the vote, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Where's this one? Oh, this one.
That's good, right?
We're adding the pending on the pending the parking number. Okay.
And the waivers, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I'd like a motion to approve the resolution pending updates to the parking table. And then the amendment to the parking waiver request for the village board of trustees.
So move.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Roll call? We don't have to do the roll call.
Oh, yes, we do, sorry. Okay, Sue Meyer,
Aye.
Matt Francisco,
Aye.
Laura Shahab Eldon,
Aye.
and yes.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't catch who motioned and who seconded.
Karen, who motioned it and who seconded?
I so move.
Sue.
Okay.
We had Sue and then Laura on the motion, and then we did the roll call.
Okay,
All right, thank you, everybody. So we just need an updated parking table
Like this.
with the changes, yeah. Based on what we just discussed, and I mean, you could work with Jeff or with Karen to make the update. And then it'll be on us to update the letter that we send back to the village board of trustees with the recommendation for parking waivers.
Very good.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. And then there's another hearing, I guess, is that it? Or
No, this is it
just the update for the.
for the parking
Yeah.
table.
It's always good to go to the village board when they do your waivers, just in case they have any
Yeah.
questions, but Karen or Jeff can tell you when they take it up, once you can get it on the agenda.
So it could possibly be on by next Wednesday. And if they approve it, then, and your escrow is all in order, then we would then get, submit all those papers to the building department to get the permit. Okay?
So as far as planning board is concerned, we're done.
Very good.
Thank you.
That was nice and sweet. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night.
Good night.
So when we get the resolution with the changes in it and the waivers, then Yaslin, I'll get in touch with you and you can come down and sign those, because we have to attach the signed resolution to the
Right.
Board of Trustee letter.
Okay. That sounds good.
That's it.
Public comments? No public? Any additional board business? All right, motion to adjourn.
Yeah, can you tell us what you discussed with the board as far as training on the new code?
I'm doing that tomorrow. So I have a meeting with the mayor tomorrow morning, and that is on the agenda to talk about.
Okay.
In addition to what's the plan for additional members?
Yeah, I mean, what normally would happen, obviously, the current administration operates a little bit differently.
Okay.
Is the boards would do their own members and would interview them and recommend them to the village board.
Okay,
Because these boards are independent and autonomous, they're supposed to be sitting outside the sphere of public influence, right, of the as far as political influence rather.
Okay,
So that's kind of the way it's always been done. And then the village board has the right to then, appoint or not appoint, to approve or not approve.
I see.
But it has not been, before this administration, has never been that
That
they're
process.
placed by the,
Interesting.
I don't
Okay.
think it has to be, right? Like, I think if there
So,
was a suggestion that we
Do we
have,
have a suggestion?
yeah,
I would love that, to be able to.
I don't.
yeah, I mean,
personally.
I know that, I don't know. I mean, it's very hard to get, it's hard to get people that want to do it.
Volunteer,
Yeah.
yeah, volunteer.
I know that Jack was talking about Karen Doyle.
Okay.
He had also interviewed Marie Early, but I don't think he ever got back to Marie Early.
Marie, okay,
Yeah.
Glendora, okay.
So typically, like I said, typically what would happen is the village board, the seated board would be looking for members. Obviously, the village board would post the interest, and then if people would come in, they would go to the board directly, they'd be interviewed by the board, and then the board would make a decision and a recommendation to the village board.
Right,
This has been kind of working,
the opposite.
yeah, which could cut against the intention of, kind of how these boards are supposed to be kind of sitting out there.
Okay, I'll definitely talk to the
So-
mayor about that tomorrow.
Yeah, does anybody have any ideas? I really don't. People just don't want to give their time. I mean,
I've been.
I don't think Karen Doyle has time, but, Marie
It's
obviously
worth
has the time,
asking.
but.
I actually, I'll sort of reach out to the architectural networks.
Yeah,
Maybe there's someone new in town that I could. talk
I
to.
know there was somebody at one of the hearings that was very familiar with Seeker. Do you remember her?
mm-mm.
Oh, that's right, you guys weren't there. It was interesting because it was just such an intelligent remark and so simple, basically, that, would you, with the marathon site plan, she's just like, well, wait a minute, you make them do a concept plan, you make them go to spend all this money, and then at the end of it, you say, no, you can't do it. She's like, aren't they going to be upset?
Right, I remember you told us about
Something
that.
like that's exactly how
Yeah.
it works. So what she said, she's down in Forge Gate. I think I should see if I can find somebody who knows her.
Yeah.
It'd be good to have somebody like that really has experience with, with developers, with planning and seeker.
Mhm.
Because that's really kind of the meat of it, and could kind of chew through this process of application review, because it was changed quite a bit, actually, since we reviewed the chapter. It was changed significantly. The chapter that was passed is absolutely not the chapter that we reviewed, which I said was exactly what's going to happen. That is what happened. It was published 2 hours before the meeting. A completely rewritten chapter. The good news is that a lot of problems were taken out and resolved, but nevertheless, not much time to review it. Not really none, theoretically, really in practical terms. But what was also changed too was the planning board's application review process. So it's
Mhm.
it's even bigger.
Wow, than what we reviewed.
Mm.
Wow. All right, guys,
Onward.
onward,
Mhm.
exactly. Any other board business or agenda topics you'd like to bring up?
Nope.
All right, motion to adjourn,
Some
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Good night, everyone. See you next time.
Good luck. for the pod. I
Yes,
can't even
thank you.
imagine. I know it's coming soon for me.
The pod.